Hey folks, it's Ray at Rainmaker.com here, and today we've got a new Strava feature. Actually, we've got 2 new Strava features, and that ignores the 4 new Strava features we've had in the last month, roughly, which is more new Strava features in the last 4 weeks than we've had roughly in the last 4 years. And now we'll get to a little bit why later on here, though mostly it comes to firing their CEO late last year. But first we're going to talk about the new feature. It's super quick and easy to explain. There's actually 2 features I just mentioned. So it was about 2, maybe 3 years ago, I think now, that Strava went to their personalized Strava feed, which mimicked effectively most other social media networks, where it prioritized things that it thinks you're going to like, as opposed to just a simple chronological order from most recent to oldest. Now, for some people, they liked that. I don't know who those people are, but maybe there's someone else out there that liked it. Me, I'm like, yeah, it just seemed confusing to me. This new option allows you to order it based on most recent to oldest, and it's super easy to set up. All you do is go ahead and tap on the profile button there, and then up in the top corner, tap on settings, scroll on down, you will see feed ordering, and then from there, you'll see personalized and latest activities. It is as simple as that. Personalized is the Strava algorithm that you've come to know and hate over the last couple of years, versus latest activities is the chronological ordering that you've been begging and asking for and tweeting me about and everything like that for the last couple of years as well. Now, do heed the tiny little warning at the top there, which notes that it will not take effect for older stuff. So when you press the back settings button right there to get back to the previous page and effectively save that setting, it's for all new posts from that moment forward. So if you're expecting instant gratification right now, you're gonna have to wait a couple hours for some of your friends to upload new activities, and then you will see them in the most recent ordering on your feed. Now, a couple notes. Number 1 is that it does not apply to the you option in the middle. In other words, your feed of your own stuff is already chronologically ordered, so that's the same. Also, if you are in a club, the clubs tab there is also chronologically ordered. It's always been that way as well, so that one changed. Also, one other thing to note here on this ordering is that on that following tab, in other words, your main feed there, it's going to go ahead and bubble to the surface those activities that you have not yet seen of your friends. So kind of like how Instagram will say you have seen everything in this feed, the same thing applies to this right here. Those top activities will show you things that have been uploaded since you last went to the Strava app, and then once it shows you that couple of activities that are new to you, then below that it continues back into chronological ordering from there. Both chronological, just into 2 different groupings, which I guess kind of makes sense. Now, what if you got friends that you really, really love, or people that you're stalking that you really don't want to miss their activities on? For that, there's a new feature as well, which is the ability to go ahead and favorite someone so they always appear at the top of your feed. So what you do there is go ahead and tap on someone's name, and then from there, you'll see that little following button. I'm assuming you're already following them, since that's how you're going to advance your stalking level. And then you'll be able to see at the bottom, once you hit that little drop-down box there, add to favorites or turn on notifications. And it's the add to favorites that then bubbles them up to the surface for their new activities. So they appear at the top of your feed for any new uploads. And then once you've seen that upload, it drops down and the rest of the feed, basically just like normal chronological ordering. So those are the 2 new features. Cool stuff. I know people like them. There is definitely more to come. And that probably gets to the bigger point here, is why now? Why has Strava, after all these years of essentially ignoring their user base and doing the opposite of what their user base wants, actually decided to do cool stuff? Now, the first reason is very, very simple and straightforward. They fired their CEO last, I think, November, December, early December timeframe it was, and that absolutely has had an impact on things. They have absolutely changed the direction since firing their CEO. They will admit to that, and so as part of that change of direction, they're going back and they're adding features that people have requested. They're actually looking at their own support forms and looking at what people have put in there and upvoted, and looking at those things and trying to figure out how they can implement them. And I think that's a good thing. Now, that does not mean they're always going to get it right. For example, if we look at the Apple Watch integration a couple weeks ago, where you can now import directly from the Apple Watch Activities app straight into Strava. You used to have to use third-party apps for that. That worked great for getting it into Strava, but actually it broke the functionality getting out of Strava for a lot of people that use that outbound functionality. Strava fixed that a couple weeks later, but it's an example of things that they're going to try to move fast, and they may break something things along the way. Still, there's other new features like the new cadence showing in your mobile app, which you probably didn't even realize you couldn't do before. Now you can. The ability to do trimming of stuff in the mobile app, all things that you just kind of wish you could do, and now they're there. So that's pretty cool. Now, I'd caution though that the reason they're doing this is because they have to figure out a way to retain premium memberships or Summit memberships and get new people on board Summit, which means at some point they're going to stop giving handouts. Doesn't mean they're going to get rid of all the free features, of course not, but the goal of this is effectively to eventually get you to buy into Strava. Strava has to find a way to make money. They are not yet profitable. They talked about this at length last year. Their CFO, their chief financial officer did, and as part of that, they're going to have to make some tough decisions when they get to new features over the next, I would say, months and year or so that will likely be Summit only. And here's the thing, I support that. Because Strava, if they don't find a way to make money, they will go out of business. Investors will stop giving them money because they don't have the exit strategy anymore being bought out. That is no longer a viable exit strategy for Strava because there's no one left to buy them out. The Under Armours of the world have stopped buying out companies and simply exited a lot of the digital space anyways. And then once you get beyond that, there aren't many companies left that A, have the money to do that, and then B, have a desire or a strong business case to do that. And that's probably the most important thing. I see a lot of comments out there saying, why doesn't Wahoo or Garmin buy Strava? Well, ignoring the fact that Wahoo might be able to, not directly by themselves, but their private equity firm that bought into a large stake of them could definitely pull that off. Garmin could do it in a heartbeat, but both companies would tell you it's stupid, especially Garmin, because from Garmin's standpoint, they get everything they want to out of Strava without paying a dime. They have complete control of that relationship between them and Strava, and they can more or less tell Strava to do whatever the heck they want, and Strava has to do it because when it comes to device uploads, Garmin has the overwhelming majority of device uploads into Strava as a platform. Now Strava has ways you can upload from the Strava app itself, which is hugely popular, but if you look at device uploads, Garmin wins every single time. And so from Garmin's perspective, when I talk to them, they say, why would we ever spend money to buy out Strava? One, a lot of people will probably get turned off by Strava, so that's really not going to help that business prop of buying that company. And two, there's no reason to. They get everything they need to out of Strava today for free. There's no reason to spend that money to go ahead and buy them out. So that means that Strava has to find a way to make money. And I think this is one of many steps they're going to make this year into actually introducing features that you want. And when I've talked to them about that, that's sort of what their goal is, to get back to making Strava great again. Getting back to like 5 or 7 years ago when you probably first signed up for it and you were excited about the cadence and the features and things got better and better and better before it all just kind of stopped and nothing got updated anymore. So I'm optimistic that this is just a start of things. I think it's just a start of things. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes down the road here over the next couple of weeks and months and seeing if that starts to bring back some of the community that I think have mostly been Strava haters for the last couple of years, and maybe turns them back into converts in some way, shape, or form. Anyways, if you found this interesting, go ahead and whack that like button down the bottom there. It really helps with the video quite a bit. Or hit subscribe to the channel for more new sports technology goodness as soon as it's announced. Have a good one.